We're still waiting on that coveted Nintendo Direct to help us decipher the rest of Nintendo's 2019 plans for their already announced games. We need titles, we need dates, we need gameplay. But apparently Nintendo has even more up their sleeve, as they revealed at their recent financial results briefing that there is at least one unannounced title for Switch in fiscal year 2019 that fans would be delighted to know. In other words, that will make everyone happy.
I think Nintendo is kind of embracing this era of mysticism that they currently have. They're not talking about directs or anything like that. One of the games we're going to talk about today, Zach, we've known was sort of done for a very long time, and I'm sure since then it has been revamped and changed a couple of times, but Pikmin instantly comes to mind because one of the quotes here says that it's going to be a game that fans will be delighted to hear about. Man, Zach, we've been waiting for Pikmin for so long. Do you think it's finally time we get it?
Yeah, when you look at the qualifier of fans would be delighted to know, this has to be a game that is part of a beloved franchise or something that players have been really eager and waiting for. So let us know in the comments down below what game you think Nintendo is talking about. Something that's coming between April 2019 and March 2020 that hasn't been discussed but will make everyone happy. We've got 5 picks here for you, and we're going to break down why we think it could be each of these games. And let's start, Gabe, with Pikmin 4. I freaking hope it's Pikmin 4.
I really hope so, too. I don't know what happened with that game.
I need it to be Pikmin 4. I really want it to be. And we go back and we look at E3 2015, and Miyamoto says that, hey, the game is, quote, actually very close to completion. Pikmin teams are always working on the next one. And then again, E3 2017, he says that, hey, it's still in progress, and Nintendo themselves, like, officially confirmed that Pikmin 4 is in development. And now here we are, 2019, no word, no peep, no Pikmin.
Yeah, I have to imagine that this means that maybe it's not even the same Pikmin 4 that they made originally. Maybe it's a sort of soft like reboot or anything like that. That's like pure speculation at this point. But like I said, I feel that that one is the one that fits in the most, and that's the one that I'm crossing my fingers for the most, because I know you really love Pikmin. We both think that the multiplayer in Pikmin 3 was one of the most underrated multiplayer experiences on the Wii U.
Yeah, incredibly fun, and if they do mix it up this time and go bigger and bolder like they have with their other franchises, I'm jonesing for Pikmin. Plus, it just seems like a good fit. This is a quirky year. You're going to have Animal Crossing, Luigi's Mansion 3, Fire Emblem, Pikmin, Yoshi. Like, it just kind of fits with the overall vibe of 2019. But in case it's not Pikmin, Gabe, it could be the rumored Star Fox Grand Prix. This was initially discussed back in May of last year, when people were wondering what the heck has Retro Studios been up to. Well, since then, Retro has taken on a pretty big project, but maybe they have this one already in the bag. The idea was that it would be a new racer to put on a Nintendo platform, and it wouldn't be like F-Zero, but more akin to Diddy Kong Racing, where you'd have Grand Prix that consisted of multiple tracks and boss battles that you could walk around a hub area, interact with familiar faces from Star Fox, and maybe even introduce other crossover characters such as Donkey Kong that Retro has a lot of familiarity with.
Yeah, this one would be really cool. It would also be a very good fit for the Nintendo Switch Online, which they claim they want to sort of continue to support and expand upon a little bit. I feel like this game was done, right? I mean, the rumors were they seemed like they were very sure that this was a game that existed. And there were people that say that they've seen artwork and things like that. So unless it got completely scrapped with the whole Metroid debacle when they took on such an enormous undertaking by restarting that game for Nintendo, I feel like, yeah, this one is another strong possibility here.
Right, the rumors out of that whole Metroid turnover was that Retro's either done with something or it was completely scrapped. And regardless of what it is, I hope that they're done with something because I love their games. And I think another racer on the Switch would be great. We see that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sells impossibly well over and over and over again. The numbers are staggering. So why not capitalize on that craze and get in with another family-friendly racer that also appeals to hardcore, that is perfectly primed for DLC, that works to continue to build your 8 million subscribers to your online service. I hate to say it, but of all these, as much as I want Pikmin 4, I feel like Star Fox Grand Prix may be the most probable. It could be something that we don't know at all, but like Star Fox Grand Prix, just based on how long ago that rumor came about, how much detail there was, and sort of the Retro thing, like maybe now they say, okay, we're ready to go. And before we get to our third game, do you think that any of this discussion of an unannounced game is in direct response to Metroid?
No, I think that they've always had this in play. Metroid in my head was never ever in contention to ever come out anywhere near 2019. So no, I think that this is just to appease some of the stockholders, just because there's nothing happening right now, so they just want to assure people that there is plenty coming. We already know about a lot of games, but there's still surprises for fans as well.
I just wonder, given that we've heard, Nintendo does like to sit on things, and New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was ready for a while, maybe one of these titles has been lurking and kind of being saved to be discussed, revealed when they need it, and perhaps shifting Metroid and admitting to sort of that big oopsie, maybe that did necessitate a new thing to be brought into the fray, and maybe they did move something around. And maybe one of the things they moved around, Gabe, is a Metroid Prime trilogy collection. This would absolutely delight fans. It's something that people have wanted for a long time. It is a real nice holdover since Metroid Prime 4 isn't coming for a long time. We did hear that they are going to time the trilogy in more perfect harmony with the hype cycle for the next installment. But maybe that isn't accurate, and maybe they did just want to get this one out and give people a little bit of Samus love on Switch in 2019.
I would love this. It's going to give people plenty of time to catch up to whatever Samus's experiences are going to be, leading up to Metroid Prime 4. They're big games, but they're not that big, and there's a lot of time. I would, if I'm Nintendo, I'm probably going to hold on to this one a little bit too, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did come out this year, and Nintendo knows how much people want some type of Metroid on Nintendo Switch, or even a trilogy, a remaster of the 3 that already exist. That could be fun.
I look at their statements again and I say, does a port make everyone happy? Does a port delight fans? This is a rare case where I think a port would delight fans, given just how much fervor there is around this release. We've heard rumors before. Some people have said it's completely done. So this, again, could be a case of any of these titles just being done and waiting to be dropped on us. I would rather something new no matter what, but if we're going to get a port, this one wouldn't be so bad. That moves us to another potential port or a sequel to the fabled Mario Maker. This port has been rumored and discussed since before the Switch came out. We've heard nothing really concrete, no evidence of it, but I feel like that is a game that everybody kind of fell in love with. So whether it's a Mario Maker port, a boosted version that includes some new features, or a true sequel, this is one that fits the statements they've made. And Mario in 2019 makes sense. We had a little bit of him very early in the year with their January release of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. But last year, a lot of Mario, and we see how well Super Mario Party sold. They're very happy with that. Maybe they want to get more of him on the platform to match up alongside Tom Nook, Luigi, and the rest of their 2019 lineup.
More Mario on a Nintendo platform is never a bad thing, right? And as much as we would want a full-on sequel, I fail to think what they could possibly do. I know better minds are at work than mine, but yeah, this would be really, really cool. And it has infinite replay value just because people make their own levels. Some of those are absolutely insane. I would love to see the Twitch streams that some of the very hardcore Super Mario Maker players would play, just because some of those levels were unfathomable for me to ever beat, at least. And it took some true skill. I miss Mario Maker, honestly.
It's a really great package, and I think a sequel would just include more options, different backgrounds. I don't think they venture into the 3D space, but perhaps they can bring aboard enough new tweaks and pieces and parts to make it feel like a new experience that still rekindles the old. And, if we're looking at overall strategy, them wanting to continue to infuse the online service with titles that are worth it, Mario Maker is a great way to buy in, knowing that not only do you get to play Smash Bros. Online, Mario Kart Online, but now you can download a near infinite amount of Mario levels for your new Mario Maker game. I think that really does fit in, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was the game either. The last one that we'll discuss for today is a 2D Legend of Zelda. Now, this has been rumored as of recently, and we at SwitchForce loved Link Between Worlds so much. We've been pitching and pining for more of these kind of smaller 3DS style experiences on Switch. Perhaps they go all out and somehow make it feel bolder than what a 3DS incarnation would be. We know that they have slash forecast for their handheld, so moving this along to the Switch makes sense. It would get some Zelda action in if we don't feel like Skyward Sword HD is bound to happen. And it definitely would make everyone really happy to have a brand new but old school Zelda on Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I have a Triforce tattoo, for crying out loud. So out of every game we're going to speak about, something Zelda related, especially a 2D Zelda, because I do love those so very much, would be the thing I would want the most. If they said a game that would delight Gabe, then this is exactly what it would be in my head. But that is not what they said. But yeah, a 2D Zelda would delight absolutely everyone, I think. Zelda needs to be a mainstay for Nintendo. They try to get something Zelda out every single year. They've been very good about that lately. I know there's rumors of a port for Skyward Sword. It's too soon for a Breath of the Wild sequel, which people have also sort of rumored. But a 2D smaller Zelda game that doesn't cost $60 would be perfect, in my opinion.
I think they would still charge $60, but I would be very excited for it. Is that your pick? If you could have any of these be unannounced? Yeah.
100%.
I got to go with Pikmin 4. It's too near and dear to my heart. It's been nearly 6 years. I'm ready for a new one. If I have to go based on likelihood, the Mario Maker one makes a lot of sense. So does Metroid, but I feel like that Star Fox game may just be ready to go. And Nintendo, they are fascinated by Star Fox. And we saw, a very pretty Star Fox in Starlink. That game didn't go over as well as I think anyone would have liked at Nintendo or Ubisoft. So maybe it's time to waltz him back out in his own adventure. And again, I think racing games are really great for the platform. But let's move on to a little other part of their statements, which said that they have unannounced titles due in fiscal 2019 that are fits for Switch Online. We mentioned the Star Fox Grand Prix, Mario Maker, maybe even Pikmin with multiplayer could also contribute to a better and bigger online. But let's throw out a few more that could be great fits for Switch Online. And Gabe, just say the one that we both really want.
All right, Zach. Strikers! I'm just going to say it just like that.
Super Mario Strikers on Switch, please.
Yeah.
Please? We don't really have any concrete evidence, but yeah.
Come on. It was so successful, Zach. It did so well for them, and it reinvigorated my love for Mario sports games because I played so much Aces, and I'm probably going to continue to just because there's new DLC, players coming. I'm excited. And a different sport, mainly soccer, football, however you want to call it. That's what I want, man. For the one that's going to utilize online, I feel like you can take such tremendous advantage of what Strikers can do if done right for online.
Yeah, I think if they are going to make a move for more Mario, it's kind of either like Mario Maker or another sports game. No one's really talking about golf or baseball, but those are possibilities as well, even though we would really like it to be Strikers. I think a new IP could also be a fit for Switch Online, something that tries to capitalize on their innovation. They spoke about how important that is for them. So it's really hard to say what exactly would be a good fit for this. I think, obviously Animal Crossing will be a nice get for the online service, but they're speaking on unannounced titles. So where they decide to go, Mario Sports, more racing, it could kind of go any which way. It's a little less concrete when you just say a game with multiplayer.
Jack, I joked about it. But Splatoon, man.
a spinoff?
I don't know, man. Something Splatoon related. That's another game that sold super surprisingly well. I think it's definitely too soon for Splatoon 3. I definitely feel that it's too soon. But, a side Splatoon game of some kind, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder
Splatoon
if
Battle Royale?
I wonder if that game has elevated. It feels like it has, just based on the popularity and sort of the side pieces outside of the cartridge that you get and just all over kind of that Nintendo has created for that. It feels like it's lived up to, it's crazy to say, but it feels like it has reached kind of that caliber of hey, it's worth a spin-off. It's worth something else and slowly climbing the ranks amongst other famed Nintendo franchises. I don't know what exactly it would be. You already have Inkling in Smash Bros. You already have Inkling in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So what else do you decide to do, given that Splatoon 2 incorporates co-op, competitive, and single player? Not quite sure, but they have to be working on something new for the little Squid Kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just love that there's things we don't know about, because we do know so much. We don't know when any of it's coming, really, but before the calendar turns over to a new year, we're gonna have a lot of really amazing Nintendo Switch games. I mean, hopefully really amazing. We don't really know. So, and the fact that there's maybe a couple more that we don't know about, I also think that the whole we're gonna have games that utilize the online could also refer to third party a little bit. Maybe we get some Madden and Call of Duty, something like that would be nice.
I did want to throw out, just because I know someone's going to mention it in the comments, Bayonetta 3. I just don't feel like that is a game that sort of... Obviously, it would delight and make certain gamers happy, but just in Nintendo's sort of broad PR speak, I don't feel like that is one that fits what they're saying here. And it could be, and maybe that game is closer than we think. But the reason we did not select that as one of the ones we think it probably is because it seems to be too niche to equate to will make everyone happy or to everyone would be delighted for. But hey, let us know your take in the comments down below. This is exciting, and I do want to remind you that these games could come out, say, February of 2020. There's no guarantee that they will hit in 2019, but I kind of feel like they will. I kind of feel like they need at least one more thing in here to help propel this platform that had its forecast slashed despite being incredibly successful. So let us know your take in the comments down below, everybody. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and are pumped for whatever Nintendo has yet to unveil. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest from the system and its games. And until next time, for myself and Gabe, SwitchForce out.